going from one side to another.
We need to interrupt that to just get you these dramatic images. In fact, the first visuals of the rescue operation of the MV Rock carrier. This is, of course, the merchant vessel that had sent distress calls, and that's the rescue actually taking place now. The rescue boats were used for the operation, as were the choppers that distress signal sent out this morning. And the crew, in fact, we're going to be seeing the crew being rescued there. Quite dramatic there. They're going to be rescued by choppers. That operation, in fact, took place just a while back. A distress call was received from the ship this morning and 2 helicopters sent in for the rescue. There was a distress signal sent out, and the crew, of course, is entirely safe. They've been fished out there of choppers. 2 choppers, like I said, were used for this. These are among the first images that we're getting of that rescue. The Coast Guard rescuing crew on board. Kate Kyangre is now joining us for more on this. Kate, we're seeing those very dramatic images there.
Well, that's right. In fact, when the call came in this morning that there was a vessel in distress, immediately the Coast Guard did swing into action. And this footage, in fact, taken by one of the rescue choppers that was sent in to rescue the 30 crew members on board MV Rock carrier. Now, this vessel also is carrying about 60,000 metric tons of coal, which has sunk now along with the ship. These are, of course, visuals from this morning. The vessel we know now has sunk. And we also know that all those on board, there were 30 crew members on board. They all have been rescued. They all have been taken to INS Shikra, where after initially they will be debriefed, and then of course, the DG Shipping will swing into action, and then we'll also check with them what measures, what precautions they had taken before the vessel went underwater. Also, an inquiry has been ordered into the incident. At the moment, though, there is no immediate threat of any pollution from this vessel, but certainly there are already Coast Guard vessels that are monitoring in case there is any sign of pollution noticed. Natasha?
Right, and the ship, of course, was just 22 nautical miles off the Mumbai coast when it started sinking. What about all those in its vicinity, Ketki?
Well, in fact, it was just 22 nautical miles off the coast of Mumbai, that's right. It was, in fact, it started from Indonesia. That was the origin of its journey, and it was going to Dahej with all this cargo of coal on board. And this vessel is a 1984 vessel. It's almost 30 years old. And there was a crack notice on the hull, as a result of which, the water started getting into the holds number 1 and 2. And once water started coming in, they knew that they will have to call in for emergency help. They called in for that. And after that, they realized that the water continued to fill in. So as a result of that, the initial warning that they were given was to drop anchorage so that the ship will be steady, and then rescue operations can take place slightly more easy. And that's what they did, which is why the 30 members were rescued, within a span of an hour or so. In fact, some crew members in panic had also jumped overboard. They were rescued by a passing-by vessel called MV Stella. Then after that, they were taken in by a chopper and then taken to INS Shikra. This distress call that came in the morning, it was no routine call in that sense, because this vessel was moving out of the Mumbai port, going towards Dahej. And this is when the call came in this morning. We also understand that at the moment they are ruling out a possibility of any pollution threat from this vessel, but given that the cargo has gone underwater along with the ship, this is something that they will be closely watching. There is already an emergency tug vessel, also known as an ETV, which is already in the Mumbai waters in case of any emergency, if it needs to be called in. The owner has also been contacted. It is a Qatar-based owner. The insurers have also been contacted. They will be coming into Mumbai, and then we understand from our sources in DG Shipping that once they come into Mumbai, they will be doing a final assessment of what exactly needs to be done as far as the vessel is concerned, because the vessel, remember, has gone down with all the fuel oil that was on board. And this is something that will be concerning the authorities here in Mumbai, whether there is any leak from it later on if it is noticed. Right now, there is no immediate threat of pollution. Natasha?
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.